welcome back to another one, you guys. If you are new to the channel, my name is Andrew with Younger Volvo Cars of Hagerstown in Hagerstown, Maryland. For more information on our inventory, please feel free to check out the link in the description box below. And so today we're in the brand new 2023 Volvo XC60 because there are plenty of changes for the 2023 model year. Not only that, this is an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus, which is the very highest designation given by IIHS. So that pretty much says it all right there. So ultimately in this video, we will be testing out and going over everything about this one. So having said that, what do you guys say? Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And as always, let's start with pricing. And so as you can imagine, there are several trim levels for the 2023 XC60. First one being Core, starting at $44,535. Then there is Plus for $48,795. And lastly, Ultimate, starting at $54,595. And so that was all pricing for the B5 power plant. There is a B6 available with all-wheel drive. If you wanted that option, add $5,550. And then that was also all pricing for the front-wheel drive. If you wanted to go with all-wheel drive, simply add $2,300 then on top of that. But as I alluded to, there are two different power plants. First one, codenamed B5, that is going to be powered by a 2-liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder with a mild hybrid system, putting out 247 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. Power sent to front wheels or all wheels through an 8-speed automatic. 0 to 60 time coming in at 6.6 seconds for the front-wheel drive, 6.5 seconds then for the all-wheel drive. MPG numbers then coming in at 23 in the city, 30 on the highway. And then to put it simply, that B6 power plant, that's going to be a pretty similar power plant more or less, the 2-liter turbocharged inline 4-cylinder with a mild hybrid system, but this time putting out 295 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque. 0 to 60 time for that one, again 6.5 seconds, so really not much of a difference there. But so then before we do any kind of fun acceleration here in our XC60, I do want to mention some minor drive mode adjustments to the XC60. If you go to the little gear icon at the bottom right hand corner of the infotainment screen, that's essentially your settings, and that gives you a couple different driving adjustments. Like there is an off-road mode available. There is also a steering feel that you can adjust as well. I'm actually just going to go ahead and hit that to kind of firm up the steering feel because that's typically what I prefer. So did want to mention that before we do this acceleration. But now, having mentioned that, what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and find it straight away. Let's put the XC60 here to the test, and let's see how quickly we can get our new 2023 Volvo XC60 here up to speed. All right, a little bit of a rolling start, but 3, 2, 1, and go. Yeah, buddy. That's not bad. Actually, and there's no turbo lag because of that mild hybrid system, but that is plenty of an acceleration for the XC60 without a doubt. You're not going to have any issues emerging onto the highway. Kind of surprised me. I like that acceleration in the XC60. 0 to 60 at 6.5. That's plenty fine. But anyways, to go along with that acceleration, as always, braking is equally important. And so up front, you will find 13.6-inch ventilated front discs. In the back, 12.6-inch solid rear discs. As far as that 60 to 0 stopping distance goes, that comes in an insanely impressive 118 feet. So let's hit the brakes. Yeah, that works. And it's very firm braking feel as well, which I personally prefer because a lot of times with SUVs specifically, you're going to get kind of a loose braking feel. There's not a whole lot of emotion to it. Sometimes can be dead spots, but that is not the case in the XC60. This braking feel is wonderful. One of the better braking feels that I typically test in SUVs, without a doubt. It's instantly going to bring you to a stop. So very big fan of the braking in this thing. Then touching on suspension and handling, up front, you're going to get a double wishbone type front suspension. In the back, integral link rear suspension, front and rear stabilizer bars. As far as ride quality goes, it's been perfectly fine in my short test drive here today so far. So definitely no issues there. I haven't had any complaints, but I will say, Hagerstown roads are pretty darn good, but having said that, still, ride quality has been perfectly fine. Steering feel, it's nice. It's now very much so on the heavier side of things because I adjusted it in settings. I love that there's an adjustment for the steering feel because aside from actually changing an entire driving mode, a lot of manufacturers won't offer just the steering feel adjustment alone by itself. So I love that the XC60 does that because I do tend to prefer a heavier weighted steering feel. If you don't have to push that button and it's a little bit looser, but still, I love it. It's really tailored to my personal preference when it comes to the steering feel. As far as cabin noise goes, I am going, we'll say 50 miles per hour right now. You get a little bit of road noise, but honestly, it's not too bad. So in my short test drive here, I haven't had any issues with that. Touching on rear visibility, I can see 100% perfectly fine out the back. Let me see why. The headrests tilt down. That is why. The second row headrests actually tilt down. They're folded down right now. So because of that, if you didn't have any second row passengers, that's definitely an option. That gives you 100% perfect visibility out of that rear view mirror. Not only that, rain sealed to windshield wipers actually do come standard on the XC60, so you gotta love that as well. And if you wanted a head-up display, that is available. That does come standard, I should say, for the ultimate trim level, the very top trim level of this one. That's gonna essentially project your speed limit, and safety features up on your windshield for a little better forward visibility then as well. And so that about rounds out the performance segment of this review, guys. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the exterior of our brand new 2023 Volvo XC60. All right, so here she is, you guys, the new 2023 Volvo XC60. Let's go ahead and start up front on this one. So one of the changes for the 2023 year is the front grille is now going to be referred to as either a bright or a dark theme. So no additional cost for either one, but we do have the bright theme. So the bright theme essentially means you're going to get some chrome accents on the lower portion of that front bumper as well as surrounding that front grille. If you go with the dark theme, they're going to be gloss black accents, simply just replacing all of the chrome accents. So in case anybody was curious, that's a new thing for 2023. They did it on the XC90 then as well. But anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the headlights here. LED headlights with LED Thor's Hammer daytime running lights do come standard. They do come with the automatic feature, meaning when it starts to get dark at night, those headlights are going to turn on automatically for you there. Automatic high beams also coming standard, meaning if you have your high beams on at night and it senses a vehicle coming in the opposite direction, it's going to automatically dim them back to low beams. Then when that vehicle is gone, it's going to automatically bump it back up to high beams. And again, that's standard for all trim levels. Gotta love that. And all the way down to the very bottom, you will actually get LED fog lights coming standard as well. So I absolutely love that too. But overall, a very elegant, very recognizable design from Volvo as always. But that pretty much rounds out the front end. So now go ahead and make our way to the side. So but now, since we are around to the side of the XC60, let's go ahead and start all the way to the top there. You will find black or silver roof rails, dependent upon if you go with that bright theme or the dark theme, of course. Black or silver window surrounds then as well. Rear privacy glass will come standard on this one. Taking a look at the side mirrors, they are either going to be body colored or gloss black side mirrors, yet again dependent upon the theme that you go with. Power adjustable, of course, heated, and LED integrated turn signals coming standard on those side mirrors as well. Another thing I want to kind of emphasize on the XC60, and really Volvo does this with all of their vehicles, but body colored side skirts. And so with so many SUVs out there, a lot of times you will get matte black side skirts and fender surrounds, but with Volvo, they always pay attention to the details like that, and so you will get body colored side skirts, which again isn't always the case with other manufacturers, so I'm a big fan of that. And take a look at the wheel configuration. 18-inch double 5-spoke alloys do come standard. 19-inch 5 V-spoke graphite diamond cut alloys then coming with the plus, and 20-inch 5 multi-spoke black diamond cut alloys coming with the ultimate trim level. So surefire way to distinguish what trim level you're looking at. It's going to differ when it comes to that wheel setup across the board, so don't want to mention that. But anyways, that pretty much rounds out the side profile. Let's now go ahead and make our way to the back. And so now, since we are around to the back of the XC60, all the way to the top, you will find a body colored shark fin antenna. Just below that, rear spoiler with an integrated brake light. Just below that, rear window wiper. You will get some Volvo badging spelled out horizontally. Always like the look of that. The B5 badging, of course, as well. You get some chrome or gloss black accents towards the lower portion of that rear bumper. And of course, LED taillights do come standard. I don't want to forget to mention that. That's for all trim levels across the board as well. So added illumination there. And just below it all, underneath, you will find dual exhaust outlets kind of tucked away. So having said that, I do believe you guys know what we have to do next. As always, here is that exhaust clip. And so now, since we are around to the back of the XC60, when it comes to opening that rear tailgate, it is a hands-free power tailgate that does come standard for all trim levels across the board, so you gotta love that. Once opened up, cargo capacity comes in at 22.4 cubic feet behind that second row. If that was not enough space, the rear seats do fold down, of course, bumping that up to 63.3 cubic feet then. There is some cargo lighting back there. There's a couple grocery bag hooks. There's tie-down anchors, 12-volt power outlet. There's some netted storage, And if you were to lift up underneath of that cargo floor, you will also find a spare tire as well. And I almost forgot to mention the cargo cover. I always like cargo covers in SUVs, so I'm a big fan of that as well. But then making our way up to the rear legroom, that is going to come in at an even 38 inches. So for reference, I'm an even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I had in that second row there. Rear ventilation does come standard. It might not be where you would think it would be though. Typically it's found just in front of the passengers, but it's actually found just in front of those rear windows, kind of on the sides rather than in the middle. So, but it does come standard either way. So we did want to mention that. Rear center armrest with cup holders does come standard as well. You do have some dual phone charging ports just underneath of where you would have thought the rear ventilation would have been. So that is there as well. And heated rear seats are going to be optional if you wanted to go that route too. But then make our way up to the front seats. Leather seating is going to come on the Plus and Ultimate trim levels. Power adjustable front seats does come standard. Power adjustable passenger seat with memory settings coming with the Ultimate. That actually comes with power side bolsters for the Ultimate trim level as well, so that is pretty darn cool. Heated front seats though do come standard across the board, so I wanted to emphasize that. And if you wanted ventilated front seats, again, that is going to be specific to the Ultimate trim level. Then overall, seat comfort was all right. Didn't have any issues in my short test drive here today. I would say if the seams were vertical, it probably would have been a little more comfortable, but still definitely not bad. And I do want to also mention, of course, you got the flag of Sweden found on the passenger seat there as well, which is always pretty cool. But then making our way to the steering wheel, it is telescoping, it is leather wrapped, and it is heated. That does come standard as well, so that's pretty cool as well. Then making our way to the startup, let me start by showing you guys the key here. You got your Volvo logo on the one side, and actually all of your buttons are on the side of the key. You got lock, unlock, and that button to pop the rear tailgate, but it is all keyless entry with a turn knob start. So all I'm going to do here is simply put my foot on the brake and turn the knob to the right. And by the way, to turn the vehicle off, again, you're going to turn the knob to the right. So same thing in both directions there. But then once started up, when it comes to the gauges, you will find a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster that does come standard across the board. I love this readout. It looks so dang good. You got the navigation front and center, so that is always up there. And by the way, Volvo is powered by Google, so all you need to do is say, "Hey Google, turn on the radio."
Sure, here you go.
And it's that easy. It literally listens to everything you say, so I absolutely love that feature as well. But anyways, the gauges are absolutely wonderful. Again, it's completely digital, so it gives you everything you could possibly want. Outside temperature, how many miles you have left until you hit empty, and when you get low in gas like we are right now, it's actually going to ask you if you want to find the nearest gas station. Then you can select yes or no, and it'll take you to that nearest gas station. So another cool little feature there as well. But anyways, so now go ahead and make our way to overall interior quality. Panoramic sunroof does come standard. The coolest thing about this panoramic sunroof is the way you open it. You slide your finger to the back and to the front then if you want to close it. So it's kind of like a 007 way of opening the panoramic sunroof. So I'm a big fan of that. You will also find a frameless rear view mirror with HomeLink controls for up to 3 different garage doors. So that is pretty cool as well. There is no wireless phone charger, at least that I was able to find on the XC60 though. 4-zone climate control, if you wanted that, you can get that with the Ultimate trim level only, and that essentially means driver, passenger, and both rear passengers can set their own temperatures. Otherwise, you get dual zone climate control. And overall, I think there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 buttons, 7 buttons overall in the interior of this thing. So it's a very simplistic design, which I honestly personally prefer. Also like the matte wood trim found just above the passenger side glove box, as well as surrounding the shifter here too. So definitely a big fan of that matte wood finish there. Electromechanical parking brake behind the shifter. Of course, you have dual cup holders, 12-volt power outlet, and within the center armrest, you have a couple phone charging ports and a decent amount of storage in there as well. So overall interior quality is definitely on point in the XC60. But now let's make our way to one of my favorite parts about this thing, which is the infotainment screen. It's a 9-inch vertical color touchscreen display, kind of like a tablet. So if you've worked a tablet before, you can essentially work this. That's the way I see it. Bluetooth and audio streaming do come standard. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, of course. Factory navigation system is going to come standard across the board as well. You can check out your climate control settings up there, as well as your heated seat buttons and heated steering wheel button as well. And of course, your radio information. And so when it comes to the sound systems, you will get a standard sound system with the Core and the Plus. And so we'll be testing that out here in a second. But the Ultimate trim level is actually going to give you a 14-speaker Harman Kardon sound system with 600 watts. And again, that's not the one we have today, unfortunately. So having said that, what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and turn on Sirius XM here. Let's see what we got planned today, and let's test out the clarity of this one. Actually, you guys, stupid amount of bass. That was a really good amount of bass for the XC60 without a doubt. And again, this is not the Harman Kardon sound system because we had the Plus trim level with us here today. So that's just the standard sound system that comes with the Core and the Plus. That was pretty darn good. Plenty of a sound system for the XC60, quite honestly, without a doubt. But anyways, last thing I want to mention to you guys, on the infotainment screen at least, is when you do put this thing in reverse, you will find a rear view camera coming stated across the board. But if you tap that rear view camera, it's actually a 360-degree option dead center of that screen. And that's going to give you that bird's eye view as well, letting you know what is completely all around you, which is always going to lead us into safety. And so to start, the 2023 XC60 is an IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus, which pretty much says it all right there. It's the very highest designation given by IIHS for safety. Front side carrying airbags do come standard. Driver's knee airbag up front as well. In the back, you're going to have latch, aka lower anchors and tethers for children for the rear car seats, rear child door locks, tire pressure monitoring system, but also coming standard will be a blind spot monitoring system with rear cross traffic alert, automatic emergency braking, collision avoidance assist with pedestrian detection and cyclist detection and large animal detection. So if a deer jumps out in front of you, it's going to automatically stop for you there. So that's pretty cool. Driver attention monitoring system, lane departure warning, lane keep assist, rear parking sensors, runoff road protection, and runoff road mitigation then as well. Again, coming standard for all trim levels across the board. So overall, when it comes to my final thoughts of the XC60, I love the safety on this one, especially if you got kids in the back. You want to know you're driving the safest vehicle possible, and the XC60, the XC90, really any Volvo, is going to be the safest vehicle possible. They've been known for that for quite a while now, and that's still the case, just going off the IIHS ratings there. Great design. I like the simplistic design to the interior. Also like the exterior design as well. It's very timeless. Digital gauge cluster, I'm a big fan of as well. I like that you can adjust the steering feel by itself as well, so I mentioned that to you guys. That is about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to follow me on social media if you wanted to see what's coming next to the channel before it gets to YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe and the bell notification button if you're in new car reviews. Do appreciate you guys watching more than you know, and I will see you guys all in the next video.